Hi, this is Auntie Sandy. How are y'all doing today? Today is Monday, and Monday on my channel is Mental Health Mondays. Um, Last week I did Mental Health Monday, video number 1. And if you didn't see it, you can go back and check that video out so you can stay up with what's going on with me. So, I'm sitting outside today, so you'll probably hear cars and you'll probably hear birds, but I hope it won't be too bad. Like these kind of videos, I would like for you to subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification button so you will know every time I upload a video. Okay, last week I think I ended with talking about the way that my husband and my doctor treated me. Okay, continue to be sick. I was at home, still laying in the bed, still didn't want to get up, still didn't want to, do anything. So at that time, I went back into the hospital again, and I came out. Well, while I was in the hospital, that is when I was treated bad by a psychiatrist who was working with me. Um, at that time, I was on medication, and it was just Xanax. So uh, that's not for long term. That's just something to make you feel better right then. I was on Xanax, and I may have been taking another pill. I can't remember. But anyway, I was in the hospital, still wasn't getting better. And I think I stayed in the hospital that last time here in North Carolina for about 30 days. And at the time, my son was staying with his father. And I truly say that his father did a wonderful job with him. The doctor, okay, I was sitting with the doctor. I had like a visit. You would go, and you wouldn't even go in a little room. You would just go sit at a little desk where everybody could hear you talking, and it was no HIPAA violation, no nothing. And I'm talking about this is in 2014. And the doctor, he looked at me and he said, "So you're taking Xanax?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Are you selling your pills to someone?" I said, "No." And so he said, "Oh, okay." And then he said, "Well, do you drink alcohol?" I said, "No." And he said, "Oh, I bet you don't. Not a bit." Anybody who knows Auntie Sandy, I did not drink and I did not do drugs. But this is how the doctor was acting, as if I was a drug addict and an alcoholic. And he was very ugly with it. And I really don't know his name. I can't remember. But if I really want to research it out, I could. And maybe I will one day. Who knows? But so when he accused me of all of that, when I got out of the hospital that time, they I wouldn't take none of my medication, none, because I didn't want people to think I was a drug addict. I didn't want people to think I was trying to get high on my drugs, or I was trying to be an alcoholic. So I wouldn't take my medicine. I would just lay in the bed, cry, worry, and cry. So during that time in the hospital, I'm going back to that, the programs that they have for you. So you have to get up and you have to attend these programs. And sometimes you don't attend them. It's not they can't do you anything, but they'll just write in your chart that you're not doing any better and things are not getting any better for you. So, well, I would go to these groups. We had to go to these group sessions. And the whole program was based on people who were drug addicts and alcoholics. it was never based on just people who deal with depression and anxiety. So I would sit there and listen to the counselors, and they would talk about drugs, and they would talk about alcohol, and they would just talk about everything that was not pertaining to my situation. And I know that there are a lot of people who are on drugs, and there are a lot of people who are alcoholics, but I was not one of them. And what I have seen since all of that, they really don't have good programs or good doctors for people who just deal with mental illness. And then sometimes you would try to go to your regular doctor and they'll give you something, but they really don't know about mental illness. Um, so all that went on. And then I got back home. I was still going through with my husband. And at the time, before I got ill, I had bought a car. I bought a 2010 Honda car. And he always, talked about my car that was too little. And at the time, he was just driving a very old used car. But, he upgraded to a pickup truck because I told y'all about that. But during that time, he would drive my car everywhere while I was in the bed. Not only that, he would take my debit card and he would buy gas. He would use my debit card for whatever he needed to use it for. I had a little money coming in, but it wasn't nothing much. So I didn't never spend anything and I didn't do anything. So my money was kind of accumulating and he would spend some of it. And so he drove that car until it got repossessed. He didn't help me pay for it. He didn't help me try to keep it. He didn't help me do anything. So all that went on. And then I called my sister and I told her I wanted to come and move with her. So she came and got some of my stuff. We went down there. Then I was down there tripping. I wanted to come back home. So she brought me back home. And you all, I thank God for my sister because she really went through with me, trying to help me and trying to deal with the situation. Because a lot of people don't know what was happening and what to deal with. And I was very stubborn. Even though I was depressed, I was very stubborn. Because like I said, I wouldn't take my medicine. I didn't want the doctor to say I was on drugs. I didn't want to go to the behavioral health care because it said behavioral health, and I didn't think what I was doing was a behavior. The way they name these things and the stigmas they put on mental health. So she brought me back home, stayed here a little while, and then I still continued to get worse. So I told her I want to come again. So she being who she is, she came back and got me. But this time I stayed. This time I stayed with her and her family. And while I was there, I wasn't doing nothing but laying around, doing nothing. I didn't want to do nothing. I would take a bath because she made me. I would have to get up because she made me. But most of the time, as soon as they went to work, I was in the bed. And I would try to get up when they came home, but most of the time I just stayed in the bed. It really was an awful thing. So she began to make appointments for me to the mental health clinic there in Columbia, South Carolina. So I started going there, and the first time I think I went there, I was in such bad shape till they admitted me in the hospital. So I went into the hospital, and I think I stayed in there a good while. I still wasn't getting no better. Then I would act like I'm getting better. Then I would go back to my sister, and I still wasn't getting any better. So then they sent me to another hospital again. And the doctors there were all talking about different treatments that they could do for me. And everything that they wanted to do for me, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to take medicine. I didn't want to do no treatments. Just didn't want to do anything. And like I say, I'm trying to tell this by memory. But if my sister was here to tell this story, she probably could tell it a lot better than me. But I'm just trying to tell you what I remember. So I also remember while being in the hospital, this sweet, sweet doctor named Dr. Glover. I would have to get her name, her first name, because I can't remember it right now. But she came in my room. I remember her. She had like 3 other people with her. And she said, "Is it okay if I talk to you?" And I said yes. And then she introduced the other people she had with her, because she was a very smart doctor. And she always had students with her in training. So she talked to me, and she talked to me about the treatment she wanted to give me. And I was totally against that treatment. But she talked very nice. She said, "I want to help you, and this is what I need to do to help you, because you're not responding to the medication. You're not responding to anything." So, and I will tell you about that treatment on the next video. So, it also was a nurse there named Miss Mary. And Miss Mary called my sister and talked to my sister. And she told my sister how I felt about it. But she told my sister that it would do very good for me, because she know people who have done this procedure before, and they have gotten better. So after a long time fighting, I began to get the procedures. And I got better. I really did. But then I went back to my sister's house, and I started getting worse again. So I ended up back in the hospital. But I still was under the care of Dr. Glover, which she was just amazing. And so while being in the hospital, I decided that I would take the treatments. And I don't want this video to get too much longer. So I'm going to stop here about the treatments. And then when we start our next one, I'm going to tell you about the treatments that saved my life. Like I said, I'm just telling you a little bit. I don't remember it all. But I tell you what I remember the most. And I pray that you all never go through anything like that. That you will always get the help you need. God will always place the right doctors in your life. Because doctors definitely make a difference. There are good doctors, and there are not so good doctors. Just like with anything else in this world. But anyway, I thank you for watching. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would like for you to subscribe, hit that notification button twice, like, and share. And this is Auntie Sandy telling you that I love you, and I pray that you are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I pray that you will get the help that you need. And who the Son set free, you are free indeed. God bless you. Talk to you again soon.